Welcome to the Online Success Journey podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey podcast, Patience.
Welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 278. We have a wonderful guest for you today. So make sure you click to subscribe right now and you'll never miss a journey. I post 1 to 2 episodes each week and each guest has a fascinating story to tell. Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. Today we have Michael Loban, author, speaker, and the Chief Marketing Officer at InfoTrust, a global analytics consulting and data governance company. Hello, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I know the client is anxious to hear your story, but tell us in advance one thing we will learn from you today that will help us on our journey to success by listening to your journey today.
Probably the key thing that I can share is the use of analytics to build and test different business hypotheses. And then how can you use analytics to minimize a number of mistakes that all of us tend to make when it comes to digital marketing.
I'm looking forward to that. Let's start with the basics. Can you tell my client a bit about your background, about what you did before you started your own business?
Sure. So I've been involved with InfoTrust now for the past 10 years. And in the beginning, InfoTrust was more of an integrated digital marketing company. And then we made the decision about 6-7 years ago to move into digital analytics space. And right now, we do not run any advertising campaigns for our partners. We purely focus on digital analytics, everything from data collection about consumers to how the information is being stored to how the information is being turned into business intelligence.
Why do you do what you do, Mike?
One is I really enjoy the company that we've built, InfoTrust, and I have an amazing group of teammates, colleagues. So really, I get out of bed because I get the chance to always learn something and to work with so many people. We also provide very specific and often much needed service to our partners, where we help them understand what their end consumers are after and how we can use analytics to delight our customers.
Let's put him aside. How do you know you are successful?
I think there are different measures of success. For me personally, the key measure of success is when I wake up, I'm very excited about what the day has to offer. I do not dread going to work or going to my computer. To me, there are always plenty of exciting opportunities, things that I can be and will be working on. To me, that's success. And certainly being able to see InfoTrust grow, work with global enterprises, global brands, and really make a difference in their marketing is what excites me.
What have you learned from business as a whole?
Oh, a lot, right? It's difficult to find just one thing. To me, any type of business, especially as you work in a small, medium-sized organization, it is about perseverance, right? A lot of times it's just doing more, outdoing your competition. And also, something that we always ask is how can we be 10 times better than anything else or anyone else that is available in the marketplace. We also see InfoTrust as a change agent, and we always ask ourselves question, how can InfoTrust help communities? So we do a lot of work contributing to different causes, helping different communities, and that's very much dear to our heart because for us, it's not just about business of solving problems with analytics. It's also our ability to contribute to important causes.
Okay, I know you've been in business for a long time, but can anyone be an entrepreneur, or are some people more cut out for it than others?
Anyone certainly can be successful. There are plenty of books that are written on success traits of entrepreneurs and what you need to succeed. And to me, I think perseverance is one of the keys to success, because there will be plenty of days, plenty of nights where you might be questioning everything, where you might have many challenges arising. And it comes down to how you deal with them. A lot of it, as Tony Robbins said, it's psychology, right? So you need to be prepared to deal with different things come at you. And just when one thing is addressed, you should be prepared and expect that something else is going to arise. And it's not good or bad. It's just the nature of running a business in a very competitive environment.
What are you still doing in the way you work that you just know you have to stop doing?
One of the things that everyone, I think, recommends to maybe executives is to spend more time working on business challenges, on the business itself, if you will. And I think this year it's been a big pivot for me to block off time on my calendar to eliminate meetings during parts of the week, so I can really spend hours in that day thinking about very strategic opportunities for InfoTrust, new initiatives versus just being in response mode, replying to emails or replying to messages as they come in. So I think it's dedicating time to think and work strategically is probably an area where I can always improve and grow.
What is one thing that has contributed to your success?
As Andy Grove wrote in his book, Only Paranoid Survive, that book really speaks to me, and the title really speaks to me. I tend to be quite paranoid, and because of that, maybe I mean, there are pros and cons with that, but I tend to pay very close attention to what might go wrong or what might go as not planned. And because I'm very aware of that, we tend to have maybe contingency plans in place. So to me, that's important to really be mindful. If I'm doing something, what are the possible consequences? What else can this activity mean, or what can be the possible side effects?
Tell us, how should major companies undergo a digital transformation?
Sure. So the key, and yesterday I had a very interesting conversation with a colleague of mine. There is a lot to be said about digital transformation and how companies make the decision to do it. The question is, what will make this digital transformation lasting, right? We all hear stories where an organization or a team makes a change. The change stays there for a week, for a couple of weeks, maybe for a couple of months, and then the company goes to the old way of doing things. So certainly that's the key to avoid. When we talk about transformation, we came up with this idea of 6 P's of digital transformation, where you start with purpose, right? To me, it's very important to define the purpose of that transformation. Why do we actually want to be doing this? Then we talk about 3 P's of our execution. So people that we need to have a successful transformation, platforms that we need, and what processes we will put in place so our people can use these platforms better. And the last 2 are P's of measurement. The pace, right? How fast can we now move as an organization? And profitability. Can we actually generate more revenue and business value as a result of this?
Tell my client about the magic moment, the day it suddenly all went right for you.
Well, I'm not sure there is a magic moment when it all went right. I don't know if it ever goes all right. But I think seeing how InfoTrust is able to contribute in very meaningful way to different communities that we support, to different nonprofit organizations that we support, and for the company to have the funds available to do that, that's very important. So to me, that's one of the great measures of success. The other, I think we've been very fortunate to receive many accolades as the best, one of the best employers as in the industry, in the state, in the nation, and that's something that is very important to me because I want all of the team members, all my colleagues, to be excited about working at InfoTrust. I do not want this to be, something that you, like when you wake up, you don't want to get out of the bed because you're dreading work so much. That's not the way to live, and certainly that's what we want to avoid building a company.
Can you tell us how to best leverage the Google marketing platform?
Well, Google marketing platform has different solutions, and the way to really leverage Google Analytics, which is analytics platform, and the book that we wrote, Crawl, Walk, Run, really talks about how to leverage the full suite of products. It's about being very intentful with what are we trying to accomplish, what can we be measuring, and what can we be learning from the data that we are collecting. I think a lot of organizations do a very good job collecting data, but then don't know what to do with this data, what to make of it. So I think being very intentional about here's what we want to collect, here is why we need this data, and here is what we can learn as a result of examining this data is very important.
How can digital analytics get me promoted?
If you are trying to promote your brand, if you're trying to promote your services, the question is who is your audience, right? And how can you reach your audience? And there are certain different avenues. You can use pay-per-click advertising, you can use social media advertising, you can use organic or SEO. So the question is, where is your audience right now? What are the ways, channels that you can get to your audience? And what will you can afford to do? Some organizations can afford to spend a lot of money on things like pay-per-click, on video advertising. Some organizations might not have the same resources or might not want to spend as much money, and they have to find different techniques that might require more time, that might require more innovation, but they go a different route. So it really comes down to where is your audience, what type of message can and will resonate with them, and what are the channels that you can use to reach your audience. And once you determine those, and then you can start executing, and analytics can help you determine which one of your bets, if you will, is going to pay off.
Wow. But can small companies compete with big ones in this analytic space?
Yeah, absolutely. I think access to analytics and access to different digital platforms is what makes it easier for smaller brands to compete with larger ones, because there are more channels, right? You do not just need to go to Google and try to outbid your competition. You can look at maybe less known blogs, or you might find go to your audience through podcast as a medium, through other channels again, versus just competing within one channel that might be very expensive. And analytics, no matter if you're a very large and established brand or if you're a small direct-to-consumer brand that is just entering the marketplace, both can collect data about their consumers, both can use that analytics to make better, smarter decisions. So in a way, Google Analytics, especially because it's a free platform, can give advantage to organizations that have big budgets, or can also give advantage to organizations that do not have small budgets, but can interpret data in the right way and make the most of that information.
Do you have a mentor in your business, or do you ever had a coach?
Absolutely. Our CEO, Alex, he's been always very open and certainly believes in having a coach. So do I. We as a company, we have a coaching company that we work with, Petra. They've been absolutely great to work with. I also have a personal coach. I think no matter how good anyone is or might be in their field, I think coaching can certainly help you make improvements. There is a reason even the best athletes in the world have coaches.
What is the most valuable thing your coaches or mentor has told you?
I think for me specifically, it's to have more work-life integration. I do spend a lot of time working, and for me, I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I want to. But nevertheless, certainly, life is a collection of experiences, different things that you do, and often their recommendation is, as much as I enjoy work and what I do, but also have other avenues. Travel, friends, fun, other activities that I enjoy, also spend time on those.
What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
Well, I think that the most important things tend to be time or energy, right? Because you only have a finite amount of those things. So when I make a commitment in terms of my time, that's obviously very, very valuable to me. Other things that whether it's a gift or something that I can give to another person, more often than not, there are more of those that I can get, where things like time are very finite.
Let's talk about your business. Tell us more about it.
So InfoTrust works with organizations across the different industries. We tend to work quite a bit with companies in consumer packaged goods space, multi-brand, very large multi-brand organizations. We do a lot of work with e-commerce retailers and with news and media companies, so newspaper companies or TV stations. And what we do really is three key things. One is ensuring accurate and compliant data collection. So how can we collect information about consumers across different touch points, such as websites or mobile applications? How we can integrate that data across different mediums, and then how can we take the data and turn it into a business intelligence and actually help organizations make decisions that ideally will yield more profitability or more revenue. So that's what we do as a company. And we specialize in using a Google suite of products, whether it's Google Marketing Platform that includes solutions like Google Analytics, Google Optimize, Google Analytics 360, or Google Cloud solution that includes number of cloud products.
If someone wants to work with you, where can they find you?
Mostly, I spend a lot of my time on LinkedIn. I have a Twitter presence, but I'm not very active on Twitter. LinkedIn is probably the best way to find me. And our company website, InfoTrust.com, you can learn more about the book there, and you can contact me directly.
What made you write that book?
The reason we decided to write the book is through our professional services, we are able to reach, let's say, 100 enterprises that we work with, right? But it's still a very finite number of companies where the number of organizations or executives that can benefit from the book, but we might not be able to work with them, they still want access to this information. So for us, it was, we spent 10 years in the space of digital analytics, and there's a lot of knowledge, information that we can share with our audience. So how should we do it in the best possible way? And book seemed like the right medium. We obviously have a blog that is very active on InfoTrust.com, where we share a lot of articles, how-tos, information, but the book was for us to really put together years of learning this and share it with our audience. And book, has, obviously I'm one of the co-authors of the book. We have a lot of contributors that wrote individual chapters and sections that are absolutely best-in-class experts on those specific topics.
Who's this book for? Can a beginner use this book?
Absolutely. The beginner can and should use this book. This is not designed to be a technical manual on how to configure Google Analytics or how to deploy events on your website. This is a business book that talks about how organizations can make business changes and how they can excel at using analytics. So the book has a lot of business advice as well as certainly analytics specific advice.
Wow. And where can we find this book?
The book is available on Amazon.com, and the book is Crawl, Walk, Run, Advancing Digital Analytics Maturity with Google Marketing Platform. And as the name suggests, it's about how organizations can become more mature, stronger, better with their use of digital analytics.
Thank you. So, Glenn, there will be more from Michael in a moment. If you are listening on one of the many podcasting platforms rather than my website and you are encouraged by Michael's journey, go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for hundreds of additional interviews with successful entrepreneurs. The Online Success Journey is built for people searching for the path to success, and you can be part of this community for free. The Online Success Journey contains amazing members-only audio clips from hundreds of our guest journeys, and all designed to help you find the right path for your own online success journey. Now, Michael, what I have shared with us so far is great. Let's help Michael out and tell us more. If your business was down to its last $100, how would you invest it?
An interesting question. Let's hope that does not happen. What I would probably do is use that money to talk to the top 10, top 15 customers, organizations that we work with, and understand what is that one service or thing that we can provide for them immediately that they would find value in. So I would be very intentional at understanding what our partners are willing to probably pay for right now, and then how do I put this together. I'm very keen on methodical, I wouldn't call it market research, but having very in-depth conversations with our partners to really understand what they're struggling with, what challenges they might be experiencing, what things they might be willing to pay for, what are the things that they anticipate keeping them up at night 6, 9, 12 months from now. For me, this is very important. And again, if I only had very small amount of money or time, I would double down on understanding that so I could give them a viable proposition.
What will you be doing in 5 years' time?
Probably similar. My work will be similar to what I'm doing right now, but I suspect InfoTrust as an organization will evolve, will change, will likely have more service offerings, more products, and that's what I'm excited about. And I think that there's a great quote, what got us here will not get us there. Mm-hmm. So in 5 years, certainly if I want to still contribute to the organization in a meaningful way, I would need to make certain changes. I would need to learn new things, become better at things maybe that I'm not doing right now. And I'm excited that in 5 years, if I do it the right way, it will be, if you will, a better version of Michael.
Wow. What pivots have you done within your business?
Well, I think the big one was, as I mentioned on earlier, we as a company made the decision to not be a marketing company, not run any advertising campaigns, and only focus on analytics. I don't know, I speak with a lot of organizations, and I'm not sure how you can have how some small organizations advertise themselves as marketing 360 types of agencies where they do a lot of everything. I don't know how you're able to develop capabilities to do everything. We made the decision we want to be absolutely best in class in a very specific area. For us, that's customer analytics, and that's been instrumental, I would say, in the success of the company.
What reassurance or encouragement have you got from our members of clan who are not quite there yet? What would you tell them?
At the end, everything will be okay. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Just keep going. And my other suggestion would be ask better questions. Right? Do not make assumptions. Do not fall in love with your product, with your service offering, or fall in love with your customer and their needs. At the end of the day, your business is probably only as good as your ability to make the lives of your clients, of your customers better, easier.
If you are going to keep a note to yourself in your pocket every day, what would be written on it?
At the end, everything will be okay. If it's not okay, it's not the end.
Find us how we can connect with you.
Sure. Well, it's Michael Loban. It's fairly easy to find on LinkedIn as I work at InfoTrust. And you can also find me on our company website, InfoTrust.com.
Michael, it's been great to have you here to share your online success journey with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. That's a wrap, clan. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Michael.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to Patience and her guest and want you to know there are hundreds of episodes available at onlinesuccessjourney.com. Patience would like to thank you for listening to the podcast, and she has a free gift for you on her website, including an audio compilation of her guests' best tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. Additionally, there are special clips of over 250 episodes that have never aired on the podcast, and they're only available to members of the Online Success Journey. Check the website and click on Join Now to get free and instant access. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed on your favorite platform to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the Online Success Journey and listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review the podcast at iTunes and other sites. We appreciate your help and your willingness to share your journey. One last thing. If you're feeling a bit lost or overwhelmed on your own journey, Patience can help. Check out her course on clarity while you're at the website. Finding clarity is a great way to get back on the right path. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.